Hey there, Seb Frey the Realtor here. In this video, I'm going to tell you the 8 things you should never do when you're selling your Bay Area home. If you want to know what to avoid, which could cost you tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars, then you definitely want to watch this video. Hey, before I go any further, could I ask you a favor? Could you mash that subscribe button right there and subscribe to my YouTube channel? And don't forget, click that little bell to make sure that you get a notification every time I put up a brand new, fun, fact-filled video, kind of like this one. Alright, so here are my list of 8 things you should never do before you sell your home in the Bay Area. Alright, here's the first one. Item number 1 is do not replace the appliances. I don't care if they're old, if they are failing, if they flat out don't work anymore. Just do not replace the appliances. Leave them there. There's no money to be made from replacing appliances in your home. Listen, even if the stove is not working, you know, the stove is required to get a loan, right? So you can't have no stove, but if the stove is there, the appraiser is not going to check unless it's like an FHA loan, and I think a VA loan the appraiser would check to see if the stove is at least functioning for those kinds of loans. But for most loans out there in the Bay Area, appraiser is not going to check. There's no requirement that any of them actually be tested. But listen, you're not going to make any more money by replacing the appliances before you put your home up for sale. So just don't do that. Appliances are very expensive. It's easy to see you spending $5,000, $10,000, or $15,000 or more replacing the appliances. It's just not going to pan out. Second thing you should never do before you sell your home in the Bay Area is apply touch-up paint. Oh my goodness, I hate it when I see this because whenever you apply touch-up paint, you can always tell that it's touch-up paint, right? It's going to look different. It's going to look shinier. It's going to look brighter. It's going to look lighter colored. Usually, like, there's be brush strokes on it and the wall itself was sprayed or rolled, and so the paint texture is completely different. It just leaps out like a sore thumb. So my advice to you is, instead of doing touch-up paint, just get like a magic eraser and just like clean up the area that you want to touch up. Yeah, it won't look that great. There'll still be like the nail hole or the chipped paint or the whatever it was that you were trying to hide with a touch-up, but it will, generally speaking, be a lot less obvious that that is what is going on. Nothing to me says lipstick on a pig like touch-up paint. Just don't do it. Just clean it up and present it as best you can. And if it's really, really terrible, if it really is horrible that, you know, that a magic eraser is not going to work, well, touch-up paint won't work either, and you may be wanting to consider doing a whole house paint job at that point, although that's a topic for another video. Alright, the third thing you should never do before you sell your home in the Bay Area is paint your wood cabinets. Oh my goodness, there are so many houses that were built in the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s that have natural wood cabinets, and you see a lot of people painting those cabinets before they put their homes on the market, and it is tough to paint those cabinets. If you were to hire somebody painting wood cabinets, it's going to cost thousands and thousands of dollars, and it rarely comes out looking very good. Almost always you can see the wood grain underneath the paint, and it just does not look like a real painted cabinet should look. You know, most buyers, if it's to the point where you're painting the cabinets because they don't look like they're in fashion, most buyers are just going to remove the cabinets anyway. So what's the point of painting them? And again, much of the time it just comes out looking not that great. It looks like you're trying too hard. It looks like you are putting, again, lipstick on a pig. So resist temptation. Do not paint any of those cabinets. You have like wooden handrails, don't paint those either. Rather than painting them, you might just consider doing some like Murphy's wood oil or something like that, some kind of wood polish to bring out the natural luster and make them look a lot better. And that's not going to cost thousands of dollars. That's going to cost 50 or $100, something like that. So whatever you do, do not paint over your wood cabinets before you sell your home in the Bay Area. And number 4 on the list is don't do any major renovations of any kind. These never pay off. So for heaven's sakes, do not remodel your whole kitchen. Do not remodel your bathrooms. Do not replace all your flooring. Do not replace your windows. Don't replace your roof. Don't put in a pool, for heaven's sakes. Don't do any of that stuff. Listen, it's a well-known fact that major renovations, and in fact even like minor remodels, they don't pencil out unless you are doing the work yourself. If you can build sweat equity, and if you can use quality materials, and if you can deliver a professional workman-like job such as a contractor might have done, once those renovations are completed, complete, then you will have built sweat equity, right? So the extra money that you will make in your house, that's from your own sweat. But you can't hire that out. You can't hire out a major renovation or any kind of remodeling work, really, and ever have the price be in excess of what it cost you to do that. Almost in all cases, you're going to be losing money. Oftentimes you will lose 20, 30, or 40% of the money that you spend on those significant renovations or remodels. So just don't do them. Avoid the temptation. Yes, you will sell at a higher price, but you will get less money after accounting for the costs of that renovation. All right, number five, this is going to be a big one. This is very controversial. I'm going to come out and say it. Do not stage your homes. And this is definitely a radical point of view from a realtor in the Bay Area, because I see so many staged homes. And why do people stage their homes? Is because their realtor says, well, if you want to get X number of dollars for your home, you got to stage it, right? And realtors will trot out statistics that they got from the National Association of Realtors, and they will get reports from like the National Association of Home Staging Professionals or something like that, right? All these people who basically have like a vested interest in like doing staging. And these reports that they will show you, they're completely anecdotal. There's no actual like rigorous science or methodology that was used, right? These are all highly anecdotal reports. But there was a study actually done by the Journal for Housing Research, and in their study of over 3,000, I think it was 3,200 sales, they determined that staging your home does not cause it to sell for any more money and does not cause it to sell any faster. So my question is, why would you stage if the research says that actually staging does not get you a higher price or it does not cause your home to sell any faster? So I don't think that for most people that staging is a really good idea. And actually it's kind of risky to stage too, if you ask me, because people stage because why? Well, I already said it, because they think they're going to get a higher price by staging. So when they think they're going to get a higher price by staging, what do? They set a higher price. And the more that you are asking for your home, the less likely it is that you're going to get that high price that you're asking for. So don't do anything which is going to make you inclined to ask more money for your house, because it is probably going to end up costing you tens or maybe even hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now there's another big risk with staging, and that is that staging oftentimes hides flaws and defects, right? There might be a stain on your floor or on your wall or a crack somewhere that the staging furniture or artwork is hiding, and that maybe you forget to mention it. And then after the staging furniture comes out, the buyer comes on their final walkthrough, and what do they say? Oh, I didn't notice there was that stain on the floor before. Oh, I didn't notice that crack in the wall. It can cause for a lot of unneeded and wholly unnecessary drama right before closing. So if you ask me, I think that staging for most people isn't something that is really necessary to get your house sold, and in many cases will end up costing you tens or even hundreds of thousands of dollars when you sell. Number 6 on the list, my 6th item is do not replace the flooring. This is very common when people sell their homes and they think they need to replace the flooring. So if you do not have any floors, if for some reason, whatever, you are down to like bare wood floors, then probably you want to put in some inexpensive flooring, like luxury vinyl plank is going to be a good choice for most people. And the reason why is because if you only have subfloor, most lenders will not loan on the property if it does not have actual flooring covering. So if your house is down to the subfloor for whatever reason, maybe you had a leak or I don't know what happened, you should probably replace the flooring at that point. But generally speaking, if you have flooring there and it's not offensive, it's not like stained or moldy or like soaked with cat urine, there's not anything inherent in the flooring that is going to make buyers just want to like run away, then do not replace the flooring on your house. Just use the flooring that you already have. Make sure that it is clean and is presentable. If it's wood floors, don't refinish them. That's very expensive. Just polish them. Use a simple, inexpensive floor polish. It might only take like an hour or 2 or 3 to get your floors polished and looking much, much better. If your carpets are dirty, have them shampooed, right? And if they come out still a little stained, that's okay, so long as they don't smell and aren't actually like physically repulsive. So listen, many times people do want to replace the flooring in their house, but again, time after time, the studies have shown that this does not actually get you a higher sale price when you go to sell your home. All right, and number 7, this one is a big one, is do not fill your garage with all your stuff. Man, I see this all the time. I go into a house and the house is staged, right? And so they took all the rest of their furniture and they shoved it into the garage, and now all of a sudden you can't see what's going on in the garage. Listen, in Silicon Valley, really the Bay Area, I think especially, garage space is very, very valuable. I mean, people don't see a garage garage as a place to like park the cars. They see the garage as the next place where they're gonna build Hewlett Packard, or they're gonna build Apple Computer, or they're gonna build Google, right? I mean, like there's many businesses, famous businesses, and many not so famous businesses that have been started successfully and launched from garages in Silicon Valley and the Bay Area. Is part of our entrepreneurial heritage, right? Like that's what people look at the garage. They look at it as like the birthplace of their next great innovation or idea. So listen, I tell people if they can't see it, they won't pay for it. So if your garage is full of stuff and buyers are coming through, they're not going to really be able to value that garage anywhere near as much as they could if the garage were nice and empty. I like a nice empty garage where you can see into all the corners and get a really good sense of how big the space is, and then just let their imaginations run wild and they can figure out what they want to do with your amazing garage space. But you know, if they can't see it, they're not gonna pay for it. So do not fill your garage with all that stuff. It's really a big mistake, and you could end up losing tens of thousands of dollars on the sale of your Bay Area home if you make that terrible mistake. All right, well, we're coming to the end. Number 8, actually we are at the end. This one's a big one. Never hire any realtor except me, Seb Frey, to help you sell your home in the Bay Area. Listen, I've seen it many times. I've heard of it many more times, where realtors induce their clients to spend tens of thousands or even over $100,000 or more getting their homes ready for sale. They're having their clients do all kinds of work which just does not pencil out. They might spend $50,000 getting their home ready for sale, but it turns out it only boosts the price by $20,000 or $30,000. I can see it all the time. Homes which have had not much done to them and homes which have had a lot done for them, even model match homes, tract homes in the same subdivision, selling for very similar amounts of money regardless of the kind of condition or updates that they needed, because usually what you're buying is you're buying location, lot size, and square footage, and that is what is really driving the value for all these homes. It's not putting lipstick on a pig and like spending a little bit of money to try and get positive return on investment when you sell the home. It just rarely pencils out. So if you want to make sure that you are selling your home and getting the most amount of money net cash to you after all fees and costs when you sell, and it will probably be tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars more than you could working with the wrong realtor, go ahead and give me a call or shoot me a text message. My number is here at the bottom of the screen. I'd love to chat with you and find out what your situation is, what your timeline, what your goals are for the sale, and together we can come up with a strategy that will get you the very highest sale price possible in the shortest amount of time with the least cash out of pocket. All right, well, that is all I have for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did enjoy it, I'm guessing, totally just a guess, you might also enjoy some of these videos over here. These are some of the most popular videos here on my YouTube channel, so please do check those out. All right, that's all I have for this one. Thank you so very much for watching, and please stay tuned.